We are playing The Witcher 3, which has nothing to do with pirates. You might have been mistaken.
Nobody's going to get that reference because the botched intro you just tried to do is not going to be included in this.
I just did a Sin Cara to that intro, it was amazing.
What the fuck is that thing?
I don't know, right? So this video might seem somewhat boring to you because, like, The Witcher is a lot of this. A lot of, like, talking and walking around. But I wanted to give a good cross-section of what the game actually is. Without spoiling anything, which was quite difficult.
Why is your hair flowing in the wind? You're inside.
It's, there's beautiful wind tech, and they just want to show it off at every opportunity.
Of course, that fireplace is so, like, raw and angry. It's blowing your hair. That's why that guy has a hat on, you see.
Well, he's the Baron, so... he's called the Red Baron, and you do a lot with him. This is in Velen, it's called. It's like a one-to-one place. Everyone's kind of shitty, and it's a big swamp.
Funny story.
It's pretty, alright, I have mixed feelings about The Witcher. I don't know how much I've told you about this.
You haven't told me anything about The Witcher.
So this is about 12 hours into the game, maybe 14. And if we had done this video when I was at this point, spoilers, I'm not anymore, then I would have been, like, way into this game, in a big way. I would have, like, there's a lot of technical problems, which I'm sure we'll get to. But since this storyline kind of wrapped up, I've been tediously bored for the last 10 hours. I'm now at about 26 hours in or something.
Are you running fetch quests every 5 seconds?
Yeah, which isn't a problem because the quests aren't bad. It's more like, I don't know if the writing's bad or I'm just not interested in what they're telling me at the moment. You know, it might just be this area and the stories they're telling.
Yeah.
But I've now moved on to the city of Novigrad. This is the other thing, right? The Witcher, you're Geralt, right? Guy in white.
Yep.
Sexy scars all over the body, sexy abs, super hot. And you're basically...
Real-time beard tech.
Yep, and you're basically chasing your, not quite daughter, I don't think. I don't entirely understand the relationship, but she's basically like a daughter to you.
Right.
And you're chasing her for at least 26 hours in my count. I'm pretty sure I've got another, like, 12 to go. And they tell you, they give you 3 areas. Each area's got an associated level with it, so you know where you're going next, so you already know you're never going to find her in these first 2 locations. Which is kind of weird. But you have a lot of flashbacks, which is what we were here talking to him about, because he knows where she was in Velen, basically. And then you're basically doing jobs for him, trying to solve his problems before he'll give you more information.
Yeah.
Which is a lot of what The Witcher is. And I've just been kind of stuck in this city for like 4 hours with not doing anything really particularly interesting. And it's like, you know that you're not going to find anything there, because, you know, you've got another location yet to play before you find Ciri. Or, you know, before something happens, I guess. It's weird. But this is the open world of Velen. We are in the place called the Crow's Perch, which is like a big castle keep.
You have earned a trophy.
I have. I'm a family counsellor. That might be a slight spoiler. But I won't give anything away unless you're at that point in the story anyway.
This place looks like a shithole. There's just ruined houses and dead trees everywhere. Yeah,
one of the buildings was on fire the last time we were here. Hence the bombed out building. Velen is kind of war-torn and it's kind of shitty. And everyone... It's interesting because The Witcher's really well written, which is like the one saving grace I have with it because I don't particularly like playing it. And you encounter a lot of people who aren't necessarily... You know, in like most games it would be like they're pissed off that there's invaders in their land. It's less about that and they're more about like pissed off about the little things that happen in it.
Yeah.
So you, very early on, you're in like this tutorial area called White Orchard. And there's like a few side quests and you're hunting a griffin. It's kind of really good tutorial, basically. And there's a dude who's like the invader baron or whatever, who's like controlling all the troops in that land. And you meet him, and he's like being really fair. He's telling these farmers, like, you know, you say you make 5 things of grain this month, bring us 4, and you can keep on. Like, he's not asking for it all, he's being reasonable.
Yeah.
And then you come back a few hours later, and he totally gets the grain, and it's all rotten. And it's like, well, you know, what's he going to do? He's going to have to punish these people. So he didn't keep up to their end of the bargain.
I guess,
then you kind of like, through things like that, and like the soldiers in the bar, like telling them to take down the old coat of arms of the old people who used to control the land, like just like shitty little things. That's what makes The Witcher so interesting from a writing perspective.
I guess it's interesting where the people are the assholes, not the people in charge, which tends to be most games where it's like, oh, of course the people in power are the assholes.
Yeah, there are assholes in power, like the King of Redania, who I think I should know from The Witcher 2, but I just can't remember for the life of me. He's like he plays chess with himself and talks about like the beating heart of the chess pieces and like wanting to rend flesh from chess pieces. He's like super psychopathic.
Wow.
He's my kind of character. But like nobody, even the good people aren't pure good. You know, there is like everything is grey in this game.
Nobody is truly good.
No, but these are like for everything you see of somebody who's really nice, like. The Red Baron, when you first meet him, he's called the Bloody Baron, sorry, not the Red Baron. And he's that red dude we were just talking to. And like everyone's super scared of him, you don't know why, because you meet him and he's like really nice, jovial, he's helping you and stuff. And then as you uncover more of his quests, you start seeing his actual like darker side you would never know about. You know, and he's like really fucked up in a terrible kind of way. And it just, a lot of it comes out of nowhere, like you end up doing some insane shit.
Amazing.
In that storyline.
This is something I wanted to ask you actually, because I was interested in getting The Witcher 3, because it looks fun, it looks like a good game. Do you need to have played the first Witcher 1 and 2 to fully understand this game? Is it like, you have to play Mass Effect 1 and 2 to fully enjoy Mass Effect 3?
There's a moment where you sit down with a dude, and he will like ask you key decisions from The Witcher 2. So, you know, just like you do in Mass Effect, basically, you know, to fill out what happened.
Yeah.
But they don't really explain it, so it's like, they literally ask you, like, did you escape, I can't remember, Flotsam is the name of the town in Witcher 2, with Yorvith and the Squirtel, or with Roach and the Secret Police, or whatever they were called. And it's like, if you don't know who they are, which I happen to, because I've played almost all of The Witcher 2, it's like, I don't know how you would know that. It would probably mean nothing to you. But there is actually, I think there's a choice, which is whether or not you played The Witcher 2 previously, at the beginning, you know, before you start the game.
Yeah.
So maybe it is different. I opted for saying I had. I don't know. I got a book with mine. I got a load of shit I didn't know I was getting because I think it's the first run of it.
Yeah.
And one of them was like a guidebook to like the different lands and the lords. And assuming you get that in all the games, then that's probably all you need.
Probably. I think, I don't know, I'm kind of put off from buying this with the idea of I will meet a character who I'm supposed to know from the previous games, and I'll have no relation to them. I'll be like, okay, I don't care about you.
Yeah, some of them like, I don't know, because I went for the option that I'd already played. I never played much of The Witcher 1, but I played all to the last boss of The Witcher 2 and couldn't beat it. So I don't know what that perspective would be like. I can tell you that it plays kind of like shit.
Really?
Like, it feels like you're playing a really laggy online game. Like, it's not, it is animation, but you know, like Bloodborne, it's very controlled animation. Like, you know the swing is going to take this long, and you learn that. Whereas this is like, everything is kind of floaty.
Yeah.
And inaccurate. It's kind of like playing the Elder Scrolls Online, you know? With like a few too many milliseconds of lag when you're playing a single player game. And then when you get into a situation with more than like 5 things and you hit a fire attack, it's like the frame rate just takes a dive. I'm playing on the PS4.
Yeah, the only thing I've seen or heard of the game is that the text is hard to read on some displays, and they're putting out a patch for it soon. That's the only problem I've heard. I mean, I've heard the frame rate is kind of all over the place at some points.
I know some of the PS4 versions won't start the game. It crashes the moment you hit a new game. Or the moment you watch the new first cutscene. I've heard countless problems with like caching on the Xbox One. Like if you have like you've been using your one and haven't cleared the cache, then it'll run like shit, which seems weird.
By the way, those trees in the background are going fucking insane right now.
There is great weather in this game. Like it's really good. But I don't know that it's good enough to warrant like the kind of terrible frame rate you have so often, or I've had. So it's really combat. It's such a bitch.
Yeah.
It's like I would like take away the dismemberment. And just give me a solid frame rate would be nice.
Take away the combat, there's the solution. Just have it talk to everybody.
I thought that, but I haven't killed anybody in like 2 hours and I'm bored shitless. So. I'm standing down on it, whereas I really like the first maybe 20 hours. Just these last few have been super slow for me.
Yeah, well that's a shame. Especially when it's like a 50-hour game.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't like playing it, and I don't think anything will change that, but... Yeah, that was a glance at The Witcher. That's kind of what you're doing for hours, you know, a bit of combat and then mostly talking, which is what I like to see.
It's like every Western RPG ever.